In our walk with faith and in leadership, do we focus more on being revered or on building genuine relationships? And how does this choice impact the way we lead and connect with others? So, today I want to share just a quick story that illustrates the difference between reverence and relationship in leadership. There was an interview on Club Shay Shay with Steve Harvey. And Steve Harvey began to tell the story about the time that him and Denzel Washington went out. And then Denzel told Steve, "Hey, Steve, watch this. Here's the difference between me and you." So there was a fan that came up to Denzel Washington. They're like, "Oh, Mr. Washington, nice to meet you, Mr. Washington. Oh, you're so great." And then somebody came up to Steve. And like, "Hey, Steve, what's up? What's going on, Steve? Nice to meet you, man. Great to see you." Oh, and it was like they were homeboys. And Denzel began to tell him, like, "Listen, this is the difference between me and you. I'm a movie star. People pay to come see me. You're a TV star, Steve. And people invite you into their homes. They see you almost like a relative. And when people do that, they're letting you know that they really, really, really like you." Steve and Denzel discussed influence. Denzel spoke about being revered. But what happens when you're revered, you could be almost untouchable. Steve, on the other hand, was compared to being a relative, someone approachable, someone relatable. So while reverence or reverence can inspire, only relationship truly connects. And this distinction shows up often in ministry. Many leaders, they connect with people only when they're in the pulpit, when they're standing before somebody, delivering a message or a sermon. While many may look upon them, but they're just hard to reach. And it's interesting because Jesus didn't just speak to people in synagogues. He met people in their homes. He met people at dinners. He met people on the streets. And his leadership was relational. He was close enough to truly know and reach people. I remember my former pastor, Pastor Locke Beecham Jr., modeled this beautifully. See, after every service, he would stand either at the altar with his wife or just outside the sanctuary doors, meeting people one on one. He wasn't the type to disappear right before the benediction. You know that disappearing act where they tell you to close your eyes, and then while the minister is giving a benediction, the pastor like exits out, and you open your eyes back up again, and it's almost like a magic act in a sense. Pastor Locke made sure that people knew he was there for them. And this is the kind of leadership that shows kingdom work is relational. Whether ministry or in daily life, we are called not only to be admired, but to connect meaningfully with others. See, when we lead from a place of love and humility, we break down walls and invite others to know God's love personally. So let's challenge ourselves. Are we striving to be this, to be untouchable? Or are we committed to being and building genuine relationships? True kingdom leadership means moving beyond titles and reaching people right where they are, just as Christ did. So let's choose connection over reverence, service over status, and build relationships that reflect the heart of Christ.